Look at me, Damien. I did it for you. Remember that? That part always freaked me out in that movie. It really did. Does anybody know what movie that's from? It's like at a birthday party or something, and she goes, "Look at me, Damien. I did it for you." I think they even recently made a remake of it. Should give it away by the name Damien. Hey, Day Day. It was a match. It was a monster match. The monster match. It was a graveyard match. Wolfman Jack here. That'll be our first question. What movie during like a birthday party does the woman yell, "Damien, look at me. I do this for you." Or "I'm doing this for you." And then she hangs herself. What movie is that? I think for 2 points. Hello, Jacob. Omen is correct. Day Day first on the board with 2 points. All right. Oh, hear my dog. Haha, funny. All right. Day Day. 2 points for Day Day. All right. Next question. Okay. Here we go. What famous murder was the movie LA Confidential based on? For 2 points. What famous movie was the murder LA Confidential? Hi, Rachel. Hello, everyone. Happy, happy, happy birthday. All right. What famous murder, for 2 points, was the movie LA Confidential based on? Nope. Remember, was it like that lookalike of Veronica Lake in that movie? And it has something to do with the color, not the color of the person, but there's a color in the murder and a flower. Color and a flower. Famous murder. Happened in LA, obviously, right? I think she wanted to be an actress. Oh, no, come on, you guys. Not the Black Lotus. Close. Come on. You're close. Famous murder in LA. A color and a flower for 2 points. The movie LA Confidential was based on it. Remember, she was like cut in half. You can Google stuff too. Yes, pink. Black Dahlia is correct. All right. Anyone's game here. Anyone's game. I want all their whole name. Whole name. Okay? Whole name. For 1 point, what serial killer dressed as a clown? Their whole name. What serial killer dressed as a clown? For 1 point. Jacob on the board. JW has 1 point. All right, here we go. For another 1 point, who, full name, who was the Night Stalker? Who was the Night Stalker? Full name. The famous murderer, the Night Stalker. No, no. The people, like, killed him. I watched this doc. Yeah, Jacob got it. All right. That's two. Pink has two. Day Day has two. All right. Okay. Here we go. For 2 points, what movie is this movie quote from? They're coming to get you, Barbara. They're coming for you, Barbara. Full name of the movie for 2 points. They're coming to get you, Barbara. They're coming for you, Barbara. Not Poltergeist, it's an older one. It's like a cult classic, I guess. People could say. Come on, you guys remember zombies? They're coming to get you, Barbara. They're coming for you. Yep, Jacob got it. All right. For another 2 points, tell me the name of the character that said that to Barbara. Not first and last, just their first name for 2 points. Ooh, that was my next question, 1968. So now he's up to six. That's 1968. And for another 2 points, what was the name of the character who said it? And people can Google because really this is all about learning and speed and you know what I'm saying? So, oh, okay. Have fun, Rachel. Give it a thumbs up. All right. Anybody know the name of the character who said it to Barbara? They're coming to get you, Barbara. They're coming for you, Barbara. Jacob got it. First one to 20 wins this round. So far, Jacob has 8. Pink has 2. Day Day has 2. It's anybody's game. All right. This one might be a little bit harder. Okay. For 3 point, this movie quote, most of this too is like from the killers in the movies, these quotes, okay? So they're pretty much basically from the killers or the villains. What movie is this quote from for 3 points? Jesus wept. For 3 points, what horror movie villain? I'm sorry, you don't have to tell me the villain, but you could tell me their name if you want for another 2 points. And then for another 2 points, you could give me the year. Hi, Catherine. So for 3 points, I want to know the name of the movie. And for 2 points, if you. Ooh, Day Day. Up to 5. For 2 points, if you can tell me the name of the character, the first name, and for another 2 points, the year. Hellraiser is correct. Hellraiser is correct. What was the name? Ooh, Day Day. That's 7. Day Day. That's 7 now. And if you can give me the name of the character. Jesus wept. Sounded pretty scary when I listened to it. Just the first name is fine. In fact, there's somebody in the community that has the same first name as this person. It's a man's name. Anybody know? For 2 points. Frank is correct. All right, we got Day Day with 9, Pink with 2, and Jacob with 8. All right. Okay. For 2 points, what horror movie, scary movie? Now remember, most of these are from the villains, okay? So for 2 points, what movie is this quote from? They will say that I have shed innocent blood. What's blood for, if not for shedding? It was like, they will say that I have shed innocent blood. What's blood for, if not for shedding? Sorry. But come on, you guys. Ooh, Jacob got it. Bringing him into the lead. Tell me the name for 2 points for the name of the buildings that it was in. It was a real place. For 1 point, tell me the city. So for a total of 3 points, if you could tell me the location and the city of Candyman, you'll get 3 points. Or you could tell me one and then the other or whatever. It was a famous project. Chicago is correct for 1 point, but for 2 points, can you also tell me the name of the famous project? I believe they have been since destroyed. I think they were like actually they like detonated them or something or blew them up. They're real dangerous. Uh, Day got it. All right. So you guys are tied 11 and 11. And Pink has two. For 2 points, can you tell me what year Candyman came out? What year did Candyman come out? This is our Halloween trivia. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Except for me, when it's boo, it's like not ghostly boo. It's like boo, boo. You stop. Thumbs down. Boo to Survivorgirl. Day I see first with 92. Day got 13. Jacob has 11, and Pink has 2. For 2 points, give me the name, first and last name, of the female star of Candyman. First and last name for 2 points of the female lead in Candyman. Blonde lady. Yeah, but if you refresh, you'll see it the way I see it. Hit the refresh button, and then it will show you how it looks to me back here. For two, yep, all right, Day, Virginia Madsen. For 1 point, for 1 point, give me the first name of her brother. He's also an actor. Why are you tapping out? Come on. It's 15 to 11, and it's anybody's game. Between you and him, you're pretty close. You're going to tap out. That's not competitive. That's sport. The one time it happened. I'm just looking for the first name of Virginia Madsen's brother, who is also an actor. Come on, the first name. All of that you could have written his first name. You know who it is. You know who it is. Nobody knows. Who is Michael Pena? That sounds familiar to me. The Pena perspective. For some reason, I feel like that's something I recently was watching. That's right, you were in there, right? I like your name. Remember, I think I said that. I like your name, Jacob. That's one of my favorite names. It reminds me of like, like you could be a fighter pilot, like, you know, Jack Waters or Jacob Waters. Just, I don't know. It's a nice name. Jewish? Oh, are we so? That's right. It's Michael Madsen is the name. Michael Madsen. Really? How is she doing now? You know what's fun? Not funny, haha, but I don't know, ironic, I guess, is that I picked my name and I didn't have cancer. I just figured, like in the beginning, I was using my real name. This is years, not years ago, but like 2018. And I figured out, oh, I better change my name. People aren't supposed to use their real names. So, uh, I said, okay, well, I'd been through some trials and tribulations in life, and really we all have. So, we're all survivors. And so I call myself Survivorgirl 2019. And then people would say, what did you survive? And they would all think it was cancer. And I feel like, I don't know, for a while there, I thought maybe I cursed myself by using that name, but I felt like, I don't know, we're all survivors. And she did. How did she break her back? Do you think it's in her bones now? And I was just wondering if well, because I also feel like that there's not enough, cancer conversation chat rooms either. So, I mean, I don't know. I was just curious how she broke her back, you know? I don't know. Maybe nobody's in the mood for trivia, you know? Ugh. Well, she's not a victim. We said she was a survivor. I don't even know anybody who does like to play the victim. Oh, on the job, so at least it was paid for in that sense. Oh, I see what you're saying. I didn't see that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I see what you're saying. Slip and fall victim. I missed that one. Yeah, I missed that. She slipped on ice and with a glass of ice. Yeah. Exactly. I feel like it does suck that she fell and then broke her back. It's like, damn. It's like all these good people get the shit end of the stick all the time. You ever notice that? But then again, you get good people that they are encouraging and they don't always get the. Yeah, I'm not saying that they're encouraging. I'm gonna say inspiring. So like Day Day was up here and he was up on my panel and he seemed like he had a blessed life, right? And I guess we have to find our blessings where we find them. It's all in how we see it. That's how it boils down to. Hi, Diane. You know, it's all in how we see it. And I mean, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of things that make people appear to be, whatever it was that they needed to show a different result, like maybe in a different life. I'm not trying to. This is just in my opinion, you know. Uh, I exactly, it does suck, but I just feel like it's more harmful to dwell on the negatives. I feel like that can drop down. Yes, exactly. Right, because I remember seeing Phil Donahue. I've said this story before, so if anybody's heard it before, I'm sorry, to repeat it. I don't know if I have allergies today or something, but I'm stuffed up. It was raining for the last 2 days, really bad, and I started to feel a little bit, you know. But I was watching Phil Donahue, and it was his anniversary special. Now this is a while ago. I was like 22 years old, and I had I was out of work at that time, and it was a compilation of his shows and everything. Oh, thank you, Diane. Make sure to give thumbs up. But it was Ryan White, who was a hemophiliac, and he was a young kid. I think he died around 14 or 15. He did eventually die, but he had gotten AIDS from a blood transfusion. And it was when AIDS was, fairly new, like in the late 80s, early 90s or something. Right, without arguing, yeah. Uh, Thank you, Diane. And I was like laying on my couch and I was feeling all sorry for myself, you know? And here's this, he had an audience of his peers. So they were, between like 13 and 16, I guess. And well, some kid stood up. And by this point, Ryan White had passed away. But this kid stood up and asked if you could choose to be without the disease and just a regular kid, or choose to be who you are and teaching the world about your experience and to be, more uh, informed or whatever, educated on this, what would you choose? And he said, well, of course I would choose to be the kid without it and just like every other 15-year-old. He said, but that's not my choice. This is the hand that I've been dealt. It's the hand that God dealt me, and I'm gonna play it the best way I know how, you know? And I sat up. I was like an epiphany. I sat up and thought, here I am, 22 years old, perfectly healthy. My apartment at the time was a little one bedroom. I was it was like 325 a month, including everything. You know, I was living the life really, and there I was feeling sorry for myself. So I don't know. There's just little epiphanies through life that I like to, I don't know, share if I feel it's kind of relative. I don't know. Sorry. You know, I think it's a shame that, and I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I can't, you know how I say I change every day? Every day I change, and some days I'm mad, and some days I'm not mad. And I'm pretty mad every day about it. Try not to be outwardly mad. I do. I try not to be outwardly mad. Not mad because it's doing anything like that to me, but I'm more mad at the human element. It's not depression, it's disappointment, Day Day. I appreciate you stopping in, Jacob. It's because, like, when I was diagnosed with breast cancer, right? Uh, I was in this type of, like been on YouTube since 2018. And at this point, I was a mod in a popular channel, right? And people were saying, oh, whenever you do finally start doing live streams, it's going to be great. And then, but I hadn't gotten cancer, right? And then I got cancer. And you can go back and you can look at like there's no angry, yelling, screaming videos from before what occurred. Never, like, I would have never taken, if somebody would have said to me, I bet you $1 million, now that you have cancer, all those people, in fact, I bet you $1 million that, that guy you're a mod for, that you've been, a supportive subscriber for 2 years. The one you're always making, you guys, I would like, type out everybody in the live stream name in the video, because they were like, we know you're alone going through this. We're your support group. It was like a Twilight Zone episode. I threw up. He said, technical difficulties. And it wasn't about him. It wasn't all about him. His mods, who are my friends, not his mods, his subscribers, the community, the people who I'd been friends with for 2 years in this community, ostracized me. It was like they twisted me to fit this narrative of being this horribly disliked person who was this poor. I mean, but if you were ever to look back through before October of last year's uh, videos, you'll see I was very well liked, and I would not have bet $1 million. There's no way I would have bet that those people were all lying when they were saying, we're going to be your support group. You're not going through this alone. You have us. You have us. And it's like a Twilight Zone episode. Because before, you'll see, if you go back, you'll see uh, how much, like, friends and, I mean, I was pretty popular on YouTube, like, as a person, not like a, chat. And they're like, oh, when are you gonna do live? I mean, I would have, and you see me like promoting others' live streams and stuff, and I never get that from people. I mean, I do, like West Haven does. Uh, yeah, West Haven does. But man, I used to like really diligently help yeah. And wow, so all these people they've surpassed me. I've been here longer than them because I got cancer. And Chosen One made a joke of it. He told everyone I was running a scam and that my neighbors emailed him and said I was faking. That's a lie. It's an out and out lie. And he did that. And I mean, I want you to look at the people that are in this community that we all have our differences and we all have this and we have that, right? But these people, some of them are really, sometimes being correct is, it's not even like the being correct, it's stunning. Like, I've never seen a Lifetime movie in comparison. Do you know that? It became an aggressive bullying campaign against a woman fighting for her life. What was the most uh, trying and tribute, in my life, the biggest battle in my life, I was like, basically, like, for very few people, there was very few, but I was fighting it alone, alone. And the night before, they were like, we're your family through this. We're your support group. You're not doing this alone. Yeah, what time do you get your biopsy result? What time will you be home? All right, I'll do a live stream for that. And the live stream was to laugh at me and to like make me an outcast and to ostracize me. And then he made up lies that he won't even prove, saying that he received emails from my neighbors saying I was faking cancer. I don't even have neighbors that know him. Why would somebody derive any pleasure from making somebody who was nothing ever more than just a supportive subscriber and he modded me? I didn't do anything wrong. It doesn't take a rocket scientist like to go back through my stuff and see. I wasn't. I mean, these people talk like I deserve cancer. Their compassion limitations. Yeah, that's a good point, Day Day. I didn't know there was any. I really didn't know that there was any. That's, I can't wrap my head around that there's a. It was only like a week into it, and this liar says, well, right around when that happened, I received about 10 emails from her neighbors saying she was lying. How could he have? I didn't even know myself. He's a liar. He didn't receive 10 emails overnight saying I was lying before I even knew the result. That's somebody with no compassion and capable of it. He saw a weakness and he couldn't help the urge to prey on it. He couldn't help it. He could not help the urge to prey on it. I mean, my God. Yeah, M and J, right? Yeah, and before it was Sharon and Becky. I mean, and this whole time with can't I've been like treading water the whole time, just keeping my head up, keeping my head up, keeping on, and I watch these people that know that I shared their channel out feverishly, promoting another channel all the time. And they know that they could go back through my old videos for that month that me and that person were as close as we were. And all over it, it's go to this channel, go to this channel. And yet they have been really uh, supporting somebody else. And I'm like, wow, man. They came to me and asked me to help promote their channel. And I did. I'm just simply beside myself at the limitation, I guess. These people, they're all crying and saying, oh, that's so sad that that kind person did that. And I'm sorry, but they all made like these aggressive campaigns to make, not all of them, but a lot of them, and to make people feel like they would be scammed donating to my GoFundMe. That I was laundering money, I was faking cancer, I was LARPing a hospital. Um, I mean, these people, yeah, and look, I'm the smallest, the one with the, you know, but they're better quality of people here. That's for sure. But it's sad, and you're right, man. I'll tell you what. I wonder if that was why I got cancer. Maybe I gave humans too much credit. Not all of them, but maybe I just needed to learn the the I don't know, man. Maybe it's about fighting bullies. Maybe it's about revealing, you know, chosen one for being the least supportive channel that's going. I mean, maybe it's for to support. I don't know what it's for. I really don't, but I'm certain there's some kind of reason. I mean, but I sit and I watch these people, and they're all the people who, I mean, like, they know that for a month I was making these shout out videos to their channel. They came to me and asked, and they are so, I don't know. I was watching I was watching Halloween. The one that was the remake, the Rob Zombie one, and it was showing these eyes of his eyes were really black. He was saying they don't see the same thing that other people see. And I have to wonder if that's true in every, for instance, you know, like if every single person sees things different, literally, you know, I wonder if we will always disagree because none of us will ever see something the same as it is. And it's just so hard to wrap your head around it. Someone could have said, I'll give you $1 million. I'll bet you $1 million. I bet you $1 million that Tom Reed unmodded you and blocked you and is going to say technical difficulties and laugh. And then is going to kick out anybody who encourages you publicly. Kick them out. If they leave encouraging comments, wishing you good health or anything, he's going to publicly humiliate them. This motherfucker sat in front of 400 people in his live stream telling people he received emails from my neighbors saying I was faking cancer. That motherfucker doesn't get away with it. He doesn't. He's going to have to produce those emails. He's not getting away with that. There was 400 people in that live stream, and he lied. He claimed that from the night before, when everybody was going to be my support, and he was having that freaking live stream during that time. He, I didn't even know. I hadn't announced to anybody that what. There's no fucking way overnight, and I don't even have 10 neighbors that I talk to or know 10 people in this town, and none of them know about him. 400 people in a live stream, and he said an out and out lie. An out and out lie. He made the worst time that I've known so far, and I hope nothing ever worse happens ever in my life. 158 times more harder than it had to be. I want people to fucking who listen to this now or listen to this after. I want you to think about if your mother or your daughter or your sister found a YouTube community, a YouTube channel that they watched grow, supported, and you as their child, their family member, or their, mother, whatever, brother, whatever it might have been. And so, that that's what's going on in your mother, sister's, brother's, whatever's life, or your wife's life. Maybe your wife might be watching this channel. There's a lot of wives that watch The Chosen One. And is saying, oh, Tom is, a nice person. Oh, he does these things for maybe you and your wife even have a child that has a drug addiction. Okay? Maybe you even have a child that has a drug addiction. And you believe in what Tom Reed is saying. And then one day your wife goes and gets diagnosed. Now, okay, but before that, a month or 2 months before that, she gets modded and she's like, oh, wow, that's awesome. I can't believe it, right? Okay? And and one day she goes to sign on and you're sitting there across from her and she fucking pukes and you hear that bastard go, technical difficulties. Yeah, but I was strong anyway. And I was good. That's why I feel like him being a devil knew. He saw how good I am. He saw the greatness in me. And he thought that he would do what he was going to do so that I didn't get a platform to help encourage people with cancer and maybe help them through it. And instead, what he did was he gave the platform of helping people through cancer while beating the crap out of a cancer bully. I mean, to me, that's even a stronger message. I'm not only beating cancer. I want to fucking beat. I want the human to be back into the race. I mean, come on. Who does that? Who does that except scum? Not the chosen one. No, nobody who's a good person who's a chosen. Fuck that. That's Satan. Scum. Sure, everybody might have their share of, you know, bullies, right? But like I said, never in a million years, never in any of the Lifetime movies or any of the stories I've seen, heard, whatever, I've never heard anything like this coming from a person that sits there and these people sit in his room and they, in order for them to get not booted by him because he makes himself seem so significant, they are picking on somebody with cancer and at the same time saying people shouldn't be picking on, and I'm sorry to say this, Rita Hayden. She has cancer. That rotten survivor girl lets Rourke do Rita Haywire. Yeah, but do they realize that they're the same people who would no longer support me and who frequented Wither Away and Die Bitch live streams for hours upon hours? And I'm not exaggerating. That was the name of the live stream. And I have screenshots of the chosen ones moderators taking part in live streams that were called Wither Away and Die Bitch live streams. It doesn't, I mean, really, I don't, yeah, it's an aggressive campaign, you know? This person had 400 people. Now they don't usually have 400 people in their live stream, but they decided that in their, not that they hadn't been saying it, but they claim that, okay, that he said, I am block everybody tonight so they can come in here and confront. But those people, they know they're lying. They won't come here. I wasn't unblocked. I couldn't confront it. I went in there. I said, Survivor Girl is still blocked. You can ask Mr. Rourke. You can see it in there. And he knew damn well who I was, even as the account that I had to make to say that. You think he said, all right, well, talk to me as you are? Nope. He kept saying, you're lying. You're lying. Go back and check again. Go back and check again. I appreciate that, Day Day. Thank you. He's, he had no, like, qualms about lying. And Chosen One, I want to see the evidence, the documentation that you said you had, and you made that statement. You didn't say in your opinion. You didn't say shit. And I'm telling you right now, Chosen One, I'm not lying. I'm not lying when I say this. That I will continue to let people know what you did to a woman who, according to him, if you're not married and you're over a certain age, you're a loser, a failure, never succeeded at anything, live in your mother's basement, like my mother's basement. My mother's passed away, okay? I've never lived in my mother's basement, and I am a success at things. And I'm going to be a success at letting people know that as human behavior goes, I believe that Tom Reed, the chosen one, is the bottom of the barrel. He's the bottom of the barrel. He's what's left in the barrel after you've been shooting fish in the barrel and remove them before you hose it out. That's what Tom Reed is. That's what's going to be left in the barrel. Because I'm certain that he's smart enough to know that I'm not bullshitting right now. I'm not talking shit. I'm not any of those things. I'm not a kook. I'm not a lunatic. I've never had a crush on ya. Never anything at all. Nothing like that. Just thought you were interesting. Your channel was interesting. Whatever. But him being a sociopath, he couldn't help. He couldn't fight that urge of like prey. There's a weakness right there, you know? But it's because of his insecurity, you know? He's so insecure that he thinks he needs to, like keep me down. And then there's other channels that know that I have helped them and that, they could basically, they don't need to act the way they do, and they know they do. But anyhow, what I'm going to say to that is once again, I'll just keep keeping on. And at least, I'm saying my say, my voice is being heard, even if it doesn't help hundreds of people. But if it inspires just one person, at least it inspires just one person, you know? But I don't think it is just going to inspire just one person because I'm literally going to find the most advantageous way to myself and to the world, the most, exponential, like the fastest, the the most exposing, the most informative, the most they'll have no questions afterwards way to let people know that there is somebody who possesses the lowest form of parasitic behavior in YouTube, and their name is Chosen One, Tom Reed. Tom Reed, show me those emails, the proof, the documentation. Show it to me. 400 people in a room. You said you started your show with how you were going to say anything you wanted in that show because everybody was unblocked so that if they had any problem with anything you were saying, they could come in and confront you. But if they didn't, they were a liar. What you said. Okay? But you're a liar. Okay? And you said, and anything that I say, I have documentation and proof and evidence. That's what you said. You said you received multiple emails from my neighbors saying I was faking cancer. You said that not in front of 10 people, not in front of 20 people, not in front of 50 people, not in front of 40, 45, uh, 67, 72, 150, 250. You said it in front of 400 people. Says it in your live stream. Wow, Tom, there's 400 people there. That's what it says. There's 400 people here, Tom. And then they all go on to say what a rotten person I am. Somebody faking cancer is awful. And then you go on to say that it was a something rumor, a believable rumor. Like that doesn't even make sense. Oh, it had an element of truth to it. It was an element of truth. You fucking piece of low life shit. I don't care if, like, uh, exactly, right? Exactly, Day Day. I mean, cancer is not a fucking joke, you know? Stage 3 breast cancer isn't a fucking joke. I don't know, Day Day, if you've ever gone back through my videos and watched my cancer vlogs. I can't watch them because it breaks my heart to just look at my fucking self. I remember looking at myself and how fucking sad and alone I felt. How fucking sad and alone. And I would try to say he's so unhappy or I'm gonna meet my daughter. And these bastards would be saying, You better have uh you better have evidence for where you got money from. You better not be using the GoFundMe money for gas money. We're gonna have the cops pull you over. Blah blah blah. You got your dog with you. I mean, and these people were all right on board. Not all of them, but I think what a lot of people don't understand is that they'll go, well, why can't you let it go? That's what they'll say. Why can't you let it go? Well, I'll tell you why. Because I've watched people who started after me who have horrible characters of human beings. And that video is still up. And Tom Reed has 184,000 subscribers, you know. Thousands of people have watched it. Thousands of people have watched that. He has been very detrimental to the growth of my channel. I mean, you got freaking all the people in the world who, you know, have cancer, right? And you got some motherfucker telling people that I was faking cancer. And to prove his point was kicking people off his channel that had been there for a while. That and he I mean they were attending Wither Away and Die Bitch live stream. My God, I couldn't. And here's the thing, right? The guy who was running those live streams, right? Where all those mods were going to, was on that live stream that night talking about Russian spies and UFOs and stuff like that, and they were coming to get him, the mothership and everything. And that's who these people were believing. I can't even imagine. Day Day, you have a second device, correct? You do, right? You do, right? And I know that this is something that, you know what? This is why I feel like this is important. Because, you know, all those videos where the person, something happened to them, something bad happened to them, but it's after the fact, and nobody would listen to them when they were, you know, trying to tell people, right? Nobody would listen to them. They said, oh, they always want to be victim, or they're drunk, or they're this, or they're this, or they're that, right? And then after something, everybody says, you know, I don't know, you'll see it on freaking BuzzFeed or ID Discovery Channel or some shit. And, you know, people are, you know, like, oh, somebody should have listened, right? I mean, mm, it was crazy. Have you ever, like, compare? I'm sure you have, dated, compared something that occurs in your life, right? In your everyday life, and you'll go, wow, this could be like a Lifetime movie. Have you ever done that? I don't know if guys like watch Lifetime movies, but I'm sure, you know, there's a lot of things that are Lifetime movies, I guess. That's why they call it Lifetime movies, right? Makes sense. Do you ever wonder though, like, okay, when you sit there and you try to make a positive a positive reason to justify things in your mind, you know, like whatever happens throughout life, you try to justify it. and think positive, gain a lesson from it, you know? Do you ever think to yourself, like, okay, now, this is enough? Like, that's enough. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, I don't, how much is one person supposed to take? Isn't cancer bad enough? I mean, why would, like, God even create people to have that kind of human condition? You know what I mean? You think maybe the test was really for them? Like it was to reveal something to God that they weren't sure of? Like maybe they were like, well, they seem like they're a good person, but let's see how they act if this happens. And so God knows I'm stronger than the ordinary Joe, and I'll be able to analyze it and be able to find some kind of pearl of wisdom in it so I can accept it and my duty in the, like maybe on uh, their Jonathan Livingston Seagull or something, that I'll just, stronger than the ordinary Joe. Like I'm the one that like I'll go through it just to see the human condition, like you said, the responses of people so that if if God is made in the, oh no, wait, if man is made in the image of God, right, then maybe he's just like everybody else and he's got this huge task that he's got to see, uh, you know, he don't want everybody going to heaven. Otherwise they would be like, fuck up. But then again, I think probably in Jeffrey Dahmer's mother's head, I'm sorry, in her heaven, in Jeffrey Dahmer's mother's heaven. I don't know. I could be wrong. But I wonder if, well, here's something I know this is always going to stick in my head. Always, always. Okay. You know how people say, don't donate to these drug addicts because they could have an overdose and die? And do you want that on your head? You're enabling them, right? And they end up scamming people. Some of them don't. Who knows? Okay. I've never heard of any, drug addict having so much in donations that they overdose. We don't know, right? Somebody could give them $10 and they could buy a $10 bag and it just be bad shit. But that Claire with the cystic fibrosis, her documentary, and she was like, she didn't want to do it. She didn't want to do the GoFundMe for the lung transplant, but her it was like a nonprofit charitable organization that she started when she was 13, and she could never work, but it would cost 50,000 for the lung transplant. So she finally said so that she did start a GoFundMe to try to raise 50,000 for the lung transplant. And then she gets it. She gets the phone call. Like it's all live, this documentary. And she's hugging her mom. And like she had ended up raising 280,000. She was like, "Oh my god," like, "Oh my god." Blah, 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 right? And next thing it's her mother talking. And she had had a stroke and died in recovery. And I thought, "Oh my god." So we're like You don't see anybody ever like donating and then somebody dying and somebody saying, see, somebody donated it and they killed them, or to Tom Reed, oh hey, you gave $10 to that guy and then he drove and got a bus or an Uber, or maybe he gave him a ride and killed that girl and sliced the little kid's neck. And Tom Reed literally says, if I did give him a ride there, it wouldn't bother me at all. I would sleep like a baby. That's what he said. Okay? That's what he said. Okay? And nobody ever says a damn word about, and it never happens. Like, you know, but here's this girl who was so, like, angelic, with such a message. And all those people, did they feel like they were like, oh, if only we didn't. I mean, my God, it made me think, like, I, instead of like, like my first thought, like, why would God let that happen? I had to try to like jump to the second thought and think there's definitely, oh my God, I mean, some hell of a battle between good and evil, or some fucked up shit going on in the world. Because I don't understand that. I don't understand how a woman in a diaper appears more interesting to an amount of people than a real person with, who pays taxes and work and, put a productive citizen into the world and uh, contributed to society. And yet, a woman in a diaper sucking on that pacifier, high as shit. And she didn't even hear the good stuff we had said about her that night in here. She heard it, but she didn't talk about that. She sat there and talked about stupid shit. Yeah, fairness. Like, not, treat people like you want to be treated. No, just rationalize fairness. Exactly. Like, if you had, 6 chocolate bars and, 3 kids, and you were like, oh, here's 2 for you, 2 for you, 2 for you. That's what's fair. It's rational. But that's the difference, is that we're rational, logical people, and they aren't. For the diaper lady. I mean, these people, like, it's a society where they do not respect anyone. When, people are sitting there praising a grown woman wearing a diaper and sucking that pacifier so ferociously as she was, with her eyes bugged out of her head. And I'm sorry, there was nothing baby goo goo gaga about that. Nothing. There was nothing baby goo goo about that. Like, if you had a little kid, okay? If you had a little kid or a 13-year-old, and here's where she missed, right? Get this. Get this, Beta, if you're still here, or anybody else if you're here. Here's what Sharon missed. She missed the best thing most of all, right? She missed the good stuff that was said. And was that the one that she did, with the baby? Was that the one right after? I can't remember, but anyhow, she did costumes that, I know I had said that she was pretty talented and she could have, done, like, I don't know if you noticed, right? Do you remember, like, a couple of nights you'd be here and there'd be more people here, right? More people. Look, you're the only one here right now, Day Day, right? Because what they'll do is they delete everybody's comments, and people think their comments are getting deleted. Whatever. Yeah. Nobody, we were saying like how good her costumes were and her makeup ability and like face painting ability. And she like just took it off, like, man, she totally dissed herself. That's what they don't understand. Like they're dissing themselves and they think they're running like the scam. They think they're running this big, big thing. But here's what I don't understand. And I'm not trying to be mean, okay? And I'm not trying to be mean. I'm so not trying to be mean here. And I hope nobody takes it that way, okay? But I have to be an honest person too. I gotta be an honest person too. You wanna know what bothers me the most out of all of this shit? Okay? Right. You wanna know what bothers me the most out of all this? Jessie Hope, yes, was very nice. Okay? Is very nice. I'm sure, yes. Okay? But was up on, like saying that she's on disability and doesn't have, the money to be donating like that and stuff, right? Okay. But I noticed that, okay, all right, that there was a time that you had said to Tommy D that you were going to withhold your donations to him if he stayed friends with me. And at the same time, you were given also to uh, Maddie. And then recently you had somebody else had like one of those membership, things like, whatever. And all I'm saying is this, if you're on disability, right, and giving, like doing that stuff, okay, right? Got it. I get it. But here's the thing is that I noticed that you like she's still doing those things, right? Only in other like areas, but at the end of the day, when you look at it all, it's like the one person who is not who their entire thing was never scamming, and I'm an honest person and really appreciated you being here and meeting you. You know, the the last week, like the first time we talked, and that's after you saying that you were gonna withhold donations to people if they were my friend and everything. I was very kind and all that to you. And yet when it was like a whole bunch of wolves, right? When they were like, "Oh, let's put this story of this scamming going on and shit," right? Uh, you, I don't know, like you had been here the night before. You didn't act like that was the case. Like anything that you said, like the big news all over the place the next day, right? And now, since then, I haven't seen you come back here at all, but I've seen you like other places, and the only one I've seen, like I've seen people try to talk about, don't donate to them, don't donate to them. But I mean, yeah, the illicit had better merit than what was legitimate. Yeah, yeah. Like they knew there was a possibility that they might end up getting scammed, but as opposed to somebody that they'd seen, they were in the room, they were there, they knew from day one what had been going on with me. They know everything I say is the truth. They know it. They know it. And yet they're everybody's getting like, this whole and they want to talk about playing victims. I'm saying like there's way more people that play victims than I'm no victim. I'm no victim. No way. Uh-uh. The only V in my life would be victory. You know? No victim here. No way. Uh-uh. I didn't know there was no cancer card. I've been accused of playing the cancer card. Can I ever shut up about cancer? Shit like that. I mean, this motherfucker has had thousands of views on that particular video where he lies and says, I know, some kind of orgasm? Is that what they do? Do they writhe around, like at some orgy? Everybody, like, and the thralls of ecstasy at like the moment of my flatline? Is that their end game? Like some demonic orgy? That's what I picture. Yeah, honest to God, Day Day, that's what I picture in my head because I can't think, I know that Tom Reed is insecure, and that is why, but he's also a sociopath. And there's others that are sociopaths. And you know what it is what it is really for people who like voyeuristic S&M, like, that kind of stuff, are the ones who will be in the comment section. Then there'll be the other ones who like to be the ones who inflict it and that kind of shit. But every once in a while, you know, they might want to think about, you know, better choices. Because you know what the funny thing is somebody who's, you know, tried to wrap their head around certain human behaviors, um, has, studied a lot on human behaviors, right? So they can recognize more. So that would be myself and probably yourself, Data, like people who are not narcissistic are actually interested in how things work. Like, I don't have an urge that I have to contain from not preying on somebody's weakness if they reveal a certain weakness in character to me, like a sociopath does. Like sociopaths never think back about. I remember I saw actually Tom Reed ask somebody, "Don't you ever like think about what you say and feel bad about it?" And neither one of them do actually. And they said, "No, I wouldn't care if that person, died of whatever tomorrow, and I'd take my morning piss, smoke my morning cigarette, and be fine." And then the other one said, "And even if I did give that guy a ride there, I'd sleep like a baby. Wouldn't bother me one bit." Now, normal people like myself and others who are here listen to that and go, "Ugh, God." So what it is like when somebody, like when their stomach turns, right, and they can sit there and be like, "Yeah, I'm enjoying this," because they're picking on somebody else and not me here. That makes them less insecure, I guess. And what these like people who think they know everything about everything and everyone, they don't realize that while their behavior is textbook, I just they are textbook. Every sociopath, narcissist, or every this kind of narcissist, or this, or this, or this, they all think that they're different, but they're not. They're the same. They're the same. I mean, ah, who the fuck would say to people, no, really, who the fuck would sit there in front of 400 people and claim to have documentation and evidence of everything he was saying and still think to this day that he's not going to have to produce that evidence? Tom Reed, I'm not kidding you. You need to produce that evidence. That is slander and libel. You don't get to do it. You don't. And it's with intent, the worst intent. Tom Reed, the proof is everywhere. You need to prove why the proof is everywhere of your disgusting behavior. I want you to justify your disgusting behavior. You always say, evidence, evidence, evidence. Get your fucking evidence. Get it out, buddy. Whether it's court ordered or you just feel like, hey, you know what? Yeah, here it is. Hey, here it is. You know, 'cause you can't, because you're a fucking liar. And 3 months ago, 4 months ago, in front of 400, I've had cancer for a year, in front of 400 people, you stated once again, clearly, that you received multiple emails from my neighbors saying I was faking cancer. It's right there in your words. You better fucking have it. I don't know what you were hoping for, if you've been praying I die just so that you don't have to do this, but I guarantee you, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. You inspire me to wake up every fucking day, because if you don't show that evidence, then you will be the example of what never be, to be. Don't ever follow this person's lead. And I can guarantee you right now, not in my opinion, not for entertainment purposes only, this is a fact. I guarantee you, Tommy, you have no emails saying that I do have cancer. And if it takes me till the day, I don't know, you die, because I'm going nowhere before you. Nowhere. Nowhere. Like, if you thought for 1 minute, Tommy, that you were going to make me feel like people were saying to me, who cares? It's karma. She's been a horrible person. She's lying about cancer. It'd be better off if she's dead. That stupid bitch in fucking England who calls you Mr. Tommy Reed, saying she's going to roll a big spliff and celebrate when I died. If you fucking think for one instant, that if you don't produce that evidence, I think you want proof not only for yourself, but for the sake of others. Exactly. And I mean, seriously, we let one motherfucker get away with that disgraceful behavior, then everybody's gonna think they can. And since we have found the ultimate example of disgraceful behavior with enough of an audience to, when they see that you're going, yeah, I mean, all I'm saying is, this is it. This is it. You are the chosen one. You're absolutely correct. I did choose. Yeah, you've been chosen. You've been chosen to be the example of making a bad choice. It's unfortunate. Now you might want to change it. You're not one lose. It's done. Over. It's over. It's over. It's not over yet, but you might want to do exactly what Day said. Either prove it or apologize. Admit it and apologize. You cannot continue. I mean, you could continue to get away with it if that was in the agenda, but it's not. It's not. I promise you. Maybe I'll let you keep thinking you're going to get away with it, just so I continue to be inspired enough to do this every day till the day I die. And since Maybe I'll just let it keep, maybe I'll just do this. So that way, every single day that I live, which will be every day, so you're going to either admit what you did, Tom Reed, or by the time you decide to admit what you did and apologize or show these letters, everybody will know. Because I don't care. I'm never stopping until what's right is right. And what you did was more than wrong. It was puke provoking, literally. Yeah, that was a thousands of people that don't even know me, and he has already planted a seed in them that to hate me. So by the time they end up seeing me, their judgment is already passed on me. And if they've lost somebody to cancer and they think I fake cancer, I mean, this fucker says, yeah, Munchausen, yeah. I mean, I don't know who he thinks he is, man. Like, literally, honestly, honest. Eh, this isn't even still. This guy is, he admits that he records people's phone calls, right? Now, I've never talked to him on the phone. And then he uses that against them. Like, say they weren't a person who was, the type of person to want to hurt someone's feelings, right? But they know that at some point in the past, they have maybe said things about somebody that they don't want people to hear, right? So, you know what he does? He fucking records people. Like, he made Tiffany. She couldn't be my friend. Bobbles too, I think. He made people have to unfriend me or they couldn't be on his 184,000 subscriber channel because I'm such a goddamn kook lunatic faking cancer bitch with a I mean, no way, Tom Lee. It ain't happening. Not today. Not tomorrow. Not any day. If he thinks for 1 minute I would die from anything, even if I got hit by a car, I'm telling you right now, I'm not dying. Mm-mm. I am not dying. I promise you, Tom Reed, I am going nowhere until you show me your documentation and evidence or you fucking admit what you did. I don't give a shit who thinks if it's crazy, if it's this, if it's that. They need to put themselves in somebody else's shoes for a moment or think about a loved one and think about how the worst thing in my entire fucking life became 200 times harder. Friends don't let friends fight cancer alone. I look at myself in those videos trying to keep positive, and my fucking eyes breaks my heart. I break my own heart. I look so fucking scared and alone. Scared and fucking alone. And even though it was because of COVID, nobody could go with people to chemo. But for me, it was because nobody liked me. My mother didn't even like me when she called me pond scum, and these motherfuckers decided they'd make, clones, or not clones, I'm sorry, stock accounts with names like pond scum and shit like that. This shit's coming from people who use their names like prudently. Like they're all fucking holier than thou. Lying. Talking like I had money hidden somewhere and shit. It got down to where this is why I believe that I am in his favor, in God's favor. This is why. Because all that, and it got to where I had to take my returnables back to get cat food, right? And there I am, that whole day taking my returnables back to buy this cat food. And do you know that I had gotten my tax return back finally? And it was on my card. Like, I didn't even have $5 to my name. Like, unemployment was done. Fucking everything was done. And I still hadn't gotten my taxes back. And fortunately, there it was. But, and I thought God saw me. Like here I am, I have cancer, fucking radiation every day. And here I am getting all my empties together, bringing them up and down 3 flights of stairs. I'm all by myself, you know, fucking all my fucking best friend since I was 15 living on the second floor. Fucking, I know she's going through her own shit. I know. But man, let me tell you, it ain't beaches. Sure ain't like that movie Beaches. These fucking people. Because you know what? What was it I was watching the other night? It was something that I forget exactly what it was, but these people, they just don't know if, instead of thinking, treat people like how you want to be treated, that kind of stuff. I always think like, would I be able to, uh, like, say like there really is like a moment of reckoning or something like that movie Flatliners, and say my last thing that I said, you know? It's like, it's not about me and what these people say to me, right? It's about what I say back to them. Can I live with that? Or can I die with that? Can I die with that? That's how I live. Can I die with that being maybe my last thing, you know, my last gig? Uh, that's why sometimes if I'll remove a live stream or a video or something I made, it's usually because it has nothing to do really with, you know, oh, people have said bad things, this, that, and the other thing. and I'm scared or I'm this or that. It's more like disappointed in myself kind of thing, you know. Uh, I can tell by seeing like Tom Reed's live streams that he must either never watch his live streams back or I don't know like what moral compass he lives by. Uh, because I can't imagine for 1 minute. Like, who does he think he is? Like Howard Stern or like one of those shock jocks? He ain't no fucking shock jock. He's a fucking crotch rot, fucking loser. I'm telling you, people are gonna know that everything he says about people when he says these women are all unattractive, lonely, failures at everything they've ever done, living in their mother's basement. Why would they all be like over 50 but living in their mother's basement? What the fucking people does he know? Oh, well, we know. He knows the type of people where Becky is the epitome of, this fucking hero and the example of the perfect human being. Her. Fucking where Tom Reed thinks he's the smartest motherfucker in the world. Yeah, in a world of fucking I don't, stupidest things going. I don't even know. All I know is there has to be in life. There has to be the people who stand for something, you know, and it has, and even if, like if you're standing for something and it's horrific, then we really can't have it both ways, right? We can't say to people, "Oh, you got to have things that you stand for," right? And then say, "Oh, we don't like what you're standing for." Um, you know, we're gonna just not look at it and avoid controversy, and then so anybody who stands for something, they want things to be their way, right? They want their opinion, they want their point to get across, they want their opinion. Thank you, Day Day. I think a lot of us are good people, you know and it's like you can't people, they want to stand for what's right, okay? But when the numbers are frightening, right? Some people, I'm not talking about anybody here, you know, talking about like when I see the numbers be huge and somewhere where they're picking on, this or that or this or that, and they're loving on it, uh, and people, you'll see like the bigger numbers there. So people go, oh, well, I'll just stay here because I'm safer here. I think those times are when people really need to self analyze themselves. And if people don't do that and they think they know everything about everybody else, I get it. You can know everything about everybody else, but what do you know about yourself? You know, it's really uh, easy to look at somebody and read them, but to be able to read yourself and find distaste in your own behavior is I mean, sometimes the statements come out of people's mouths, I don't know how they can write them or say them. I mean, I've heard people say, I can only keep trying to help somebody for so long. It's not my battle. It's not my business. And then what they don't understand is you don't say to somebody who clearly, right? Like, thank you. I appreciate that, Day Day. Clearly, I'm trying to find the warrior within me, right? I want to depend the most on my fight for my life, okay? But I think for anybody, uh, it's important to, um, I don't know, the positive, the power of positive thinking. I think is really important. Okay, so when you've got people who will say, "I tried helping them and fighting their battle, but it's not my battle. I just have to walk away." Okay, but you're sitting there thinking to yourself, "I never asked you for help fighting my battle. I always just thought I wouldn't have a battle against bullies." And a lot of the time, the people have been part of the aggressive gang bullying and have said things like that. And they've also known that they knew me before I had cancer. And they've also seen everything that went down and stuff. And they know that I never asked them for help. I appreciated that they stopped their own bullying, but just because they decide in their own mind that by stopping their own bad behavior was me asking them for help, and when they say, I can't keep helping them, so they then return back to talking negatively about me and not encouraging support in the community towards me. So basically, ostracize me again. That what they're really saying about themselves is they can't help themselves from preying upon somebody with a weakness, what they perceive to be as a weakness. It's not that they're seeing my strength and thinking, oh, wow, she's strong. I want to be on her side because I know she's a loyal friend that would be on my side. They don't see that at all. It's them not seeing their own inadequacy as being an empathetic, compassionate human being without having these urges to prey upon something like a chink in somebody's armor or something or whatever. That's what they need to realize. I never asked for their help, but it helped that they stop making videos making comments, making campaigns, making voice changing recordings, you know, having live streams. Yes, that helped. Didn't ask you for it, kind of hoped you would, you did. But then suddenly I seem to have done something wrong and they can't continue to help me anymore. It gets exhausting. So now they've got to, people then resort right back to being, it's not me that needs the help. It was never me that needed the help. And I can't help you guys try to find, not these people, not everyone, they know who they are. Help some people find something that matters to be as passionate about as they are about something that either is very pretentious and goes over people's heads, and or they have to use somebody else's recordings and content to get across, or stuff that really just doesn't matter. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't give a shit. As long as Jesse Hope doesn't go around giving donations to people and then withholding them if they're gonna support my channel, uh, then I don't care, you know, what Jesse, I mean, yeah, I feel she's very nice. In all the positive sense of the way of caring, I do care. But in any ways of, putting her down for, you know, finding kindness to give, no, I'm not gonna think that's fucking a weakness of somebody or this or that. I think it's a weakness in the person who took advantage of it, but don't make some hell bent heart leave you bitter. Yeah, right. Increase their value to themselves. Well, it doesn't. Well, because you know why? It doesn't increase their value to themselves because they don't think about it like that. They think about it like, a game and they win, you lose. Okay, bye bye. Right? They never, unless they look at themselves, unless they make that step towards, help, getting help for their behaviors, they never, and even then, they will never look back and think, oh, they feel bad about something. It's more they have to want to change that behavior because it's got to be point. I mean, it's inadequate behavior from human beings. People who are living by a good moral compass and continuing to fight the good fight shouldn't have to walk amongst people who get away with their bad behaviors and then point their dirty fingers with their louder voices at the people that are smarter than them. Because once again, like that's the thing is that all those labeled behaviors are just that. They're textbook labeled behavior. And anybody who reads and thinks and self analyzes and has the ability to, have enlightenment and to swim pretty deep. I mean, half these motherfuckers, man, they'd get about ankle deep with me, and that'd be about all I could fucking handle. There's a lot of times I gotta sit there going, wow, yeah. Oh my God, yeah, you're awesome. That's so awesome. You taught me so much. Some people do, right? And that's why I say it. Because if somebody says something to me, I quote my friend Tiffany quite a bit, because she said quite a few things that are really thought provoking, and they're um, you know appropriate to a lot of times, especially for somebody who has recently, because of what Tiffany said. Maybe somebody else said it. Maybe it's not her original statement, quote, whatever. All I know is she said it to me. She shared it with me. It stuck in her head, whoever said it to her. Or if she made it, if those were her own words, I don't care. I don't know. All I know is those are the things that I put in my tapestry of life. If these people think that when I remember their behavior when it was bad, the people who write the same bad, like paste and clip shit over and over again, stupid shit, right? That if I could beat them with their words, like if I could take all their dumbass, repetitive shit and put it in a pillowcase and beat the crap out of them, like in The Grifters with the Angelica Houston, I would. But unfortunately, that ain't the way it works. So let's think about the virtual pillowcase of the shit that people continue to write. And I mean, if they think for a moment that I look at it and one day I'm going to be so convinced that their words are true. Oh, you're right. I've been rotten my whole life. Yeah, okay. They waste more time doing that. And that statement that Tiffany said, if time is our most precious and valuable commodity, then make sure where you spend it and how you spend it, what you spend it on. That statement made it easier to let go and made me more zen, you know? Like, I can admit I'm angry, right? But I can also admit what I'm angry about, having cancer, knowing that, that's the hand I've been dealt, the luck of, or the unluck of the draw, whatever. I choose to find something in it that made it why it was, mine. I still believe that if we all put our problems in the middle of a table and we're told, okay, pick what ones you want, we'd all take our own back because in some way they are intricately designed for some kind of a reason. I have to believe that. The reason why I have to believe and swim so deep uh, is because if I didn't, then I'd have to think that it was all in vain. And why the fuck would I want to think I have cancer for fucking no good reason? As if it was something to do with karma and this guy, I could think of fucking 5 people off the top of my head more deserving of that karma. And that's the truth. Just off the top of my head. I could probably give you a list of at least 122. At least. If I thought about the world. Where their karma would justify that more. But that is why I think. I think, therefore I am. Right? And I don't mind. I think it, sucks that, I mean, you try to do, some trivia, and then like it's like, oh, because of the whole, the whole, she's this, she's this, she's this, don't even bother, something fun like trivia. Like I love Jeopardy, you know, becomes where, I'm looking though right now. I see number 13 in the room. It's 13 here again, and that makes me feel good. Isn't that funny? That you know that's why, like 13 making me feel good. I'll put that to Catherine and Guthrie because it became our number, and then Pink said, "Oh look, 13. That's you, Catherine's number," and I didn't realize it was so apparent. I am certain that, I mean, look at right now. Like here's Day Day. Day Day has sat here talking to me through this right now. I feel like because of recognizing that perhaps I needed that, you know, and thank you, Day Day. I appreciate you not saying, well, I'm gonna do, like sometimes people do. They can't. They're not. Well, you're a good swimmer. Let's put it that way. You know, you're a good swimmer. Like that Tool song says, "Learn to swim, learn to swim, learn to swim." True word, true word. That's a true statement too. Always go with your natural instincts because a lot of times people will, uh, will feel they'll create like through sounds and stuff like that, or pictures or what they show on the screen. They'll create a feeling of nausea inside people, which that's their instinct. You know, when they're showing something that's unappealing to the eye, like maybe vicious or something, it's supposed to make you feel um, like nauseous. And then other people who are, there have been like scientific studies where then they'll start talking about something they want people to hate, and people will go along with it because they can manipulate their feelings, their physical feelings. People will think, oh, that person makes me sick, or that makes me sick, or people can manipulate that through sound. It's crazy. Thank you. I appreciate that, Day Day. I really do. I appreciate that. Catherine popped out really quick too, but I appreciate like the fact that you lent me your ear because and that's one of the reasons why I do like YouTube. I mean, everything has its pros and cons. It really does. It's like having like a virtual library at your fingertips, but it sucks that sometimes you know they could probably end up. I keep wanting to finish reading. I don't know. I don't know. How was your day today, Day Day? What did you end up doing for your birthday day, or did you ever end up getting any pickle juice? Thank you. A lot of people they are afraid of that, and that like is so it explains how the whole the burning the witches at the stake, you know, that explains that whole mob mentality. It's crazy, it really is. It's like they did these uh, studies where people, if they're in a bad mood, will they can easily be swayed to be in a bad mood. If the negative room of the vibe of the room, really something. I'm just, I can't be the type of person that just turn the other cheek because I can guarantee some people, when you're dealing with them, they're going to just take that as, oh, a whole new thing to aim for. you know? You turn the other cheek and it's like, whoever, what great army, like what great leader into battle would tell their troops to turn the other cheek. They would be considered to be a failure at defense. And I can't imagine anybody who's ever, you know, there's probably nobody who's ever told Alexander the Great turn the other cheek. He chose his battles wisely. It seems like sometimes people who they don't understand the difference, when they're talking to somebody who is feeling of themselves as like, hey, I can recognize bad behavior. I see you doing things that I wouldn't do, and I don't agree with it, and it is detrimental. It's been detrimental to myself. And hey, you know, we're not gonna take it. No, we ain't gonna take it. I like that story about Joan of Arc. Man, they screwed her though at the end, huh? Telling her she could, like that's the thing. That's the point. They want people to compromise their convictions, and it's so easy to analyze other people, but that's usually not somebody's personal problem. Other people, it depends on like how you handle those other people. I myself, I'd be compromising my convictions if I respected Joan of Arc, okay? And then um confirm to the belief of turn the other cheek makes me a warrior. Turn the other cheek for what? For what? What? For what? Like, I don't even get it. Turn the other cheek. But I think that a lot of times people, they interpret some things that they'll read like an eye for an eye. I read that, and from what I saw, from what I interpreted that to mean, was if your eye deceives, God and what is right, like if your eye is, lusting after this or that, uh, then I'll take your eye kind of thing, It's an eye for an eye, according to, you know, uh, I don't know. There's so much more to embrace in the way of where, um, like, nobody should say, "Oh, I've tried too hard to be their friend. I have to walk away." So, nobody go and bother her or anything, which in other words is saying, so I don't support her anymore. Um, you know, it's not saying, but here's the thing though, like people, if they have each other's phone numbers, fucking call them like human beings, you know? You can't pretend to care about someone's feelings when you didn't respect their privacy to show their feelings. Like, if somebody got hurt by somebody's behavior of their friend that they sprung on them on like a live panel, it's either act like I hurt you by what I just did to you, or you know, posture and come at me. Right? That's their attitude about it. You know, I'm not going to confront you as, a human being. I'm either giving you, you got, a number, not, you got limited choices, but they're all public. So basically, yeah, it's like, and that is supposed to be more, uh, that's supposed to be more genuine behavior of a friend than somebody who says, I don't understand. Why didn't you just call me? Right? Which basically that's, the end of that, right? Why didn't you just call me? Uh, that to me seems, it seems logical. And I just didn't realize how many irrational human beings there are out there. Funny. Textbook too. Very textbook. Like textbook. Really unbelievably textbook. So for 2 points, tell me, what movie is this quote from? It's alive. It's alive. What horror movie? Not horror movie. Horror. Horror. She's a horror. It's alive. It's alive. You go trivial, and that makes me think about trivia. It's a scary movie, mostly made in black and white. Yeah, what movie is that from? It's alive. You know what movie I was looking at today? Well, not today, but like tonight was Freaks. They made it in 1932. And I think, oh my God. You know what's crazy? Is that led me to watch this video of the 10 most disturbing movies of all time, right? But these were older ones. And I believe like the oldest one of them was made in 1911. And oh, was that your guess of the movie title? No, that's not the that's not the movie. And these people were really cruel. And if we look back in past history where people have gathered for public executions and, the burning at the stake and all that, we can't say that society is getting worse because to look back, It's been pretty bad all along. I mean, when people are gathering at the public arena to watch people be eaten by lions and shit, or to be beheaded, you've got 10,000 people there with, like, they don't even know this person and they're like screaming, behead them, just because some guy wants to marry some new girl, new woman. And you gotta think to yourself, 10,000 people without social media, without social media, they knew. I mean, these people would be like drawn and quartered. Back in the days, like in Rome, they would use elephants were a sign of wealth. And when an elephant would get old, to be, like work, useful or whatever, they would have a party where they would like pour paraffin or something over the elephant and let it be, let it burn. That's what a Roman candle was, with people on fire. The woman is the woman to be stoned at the wall. Let me take a look. Stoning of the devil. Is it the stoning of the devil? I don't even know if you guys can still hear me. Okay. Probably not. Um, who is without, then let him be the first to cast the first stone. Yeah, did they though? Did they end up stoning her? Probably though, right? Yeah, I mean, but I mean, my God, it's almost like though that they cast the first stone so that they look like they're without sin. Yeah, right? So it's like it's a farce. Oh, so what they're saying is basically we should start throwing stones first so that we can fall into that, category of, you know, yeah, but basically, I mean, look what they did to him. Yeah, but they don't go by that anymore. Now they interpret it as, so throw the first stone. It's the same with, like Joan of Arc and them canonizing her. And, after 500 years, they canonized her. It was cover their ass. They covered their ass. Like, oh, what if she was, from like a messenger from God? The stoning of this saint. If they were a saint, why did they get stoned? Right? Let he who is without sin cast the first stone. I mean, serious, like it's like, and what do they say, right? They go, oh, well, the guy who, throws the first punch, right, is the one to be arrested. They threw the first punch. They get arrested. So, say you're there and you're going to get, attacked, and somebody yells out, well, that whoever was there, the bottom line at the end of the day, the story probably, they dropped the stones because their conscience wasn't clear. Well, why didn't Jesus throw it? When I like go to like say, oh, I'm gonna do one, I'm gonna do one, a parody, and then I'll go to like, do it, and I'm like, I don't have anything to say about them. They make fun of themselves, basically. I mean, if she can like look back on that whole diaper thing and the way she's sucking that binky. Yeah, but still, it didn't change anything. I mean, look at the Scarlet Letter. She had to wear an A, and that was way past biblical times. It didn't change. Didn't change much. Yeah, it was pretty dysfunctional. I think, I mean, I think that I heard, Tom Reed actually. Tom Reed was saying somebody said something, right? And they referred some kind of, quote to the Bible. And he said, that's from the Old Testament. That doesn't matter anymore. What do you mean survivor groups out here? No, there's like, it doesn't seem like there's anything for, I mean, there is positive group, but then I'm gonna be honest, right? I was in, a group where there was, I mean, they even do like a little prayer list, and yeah, I mean, I don't know. It seemed like real. Uh, it wasn't like about cancer. It was like, seemed like a just a out and out support of everyone, wishing well for everyone kind of group. There was like 600 people in there. The guy had this really great, voice and stuff. And he was showing this real powerful video clip. And, but every time, like I kept hearing this, bomb sound going off. And I wasn't sure if it was like a bomb exploding or a thunder. So I said, "Is that thunder I keep hearing?" And they said, "No, it's whenever somebody becomes a subscriber or something, it was a bomb would go off, the sound of a bomb." And I wasn't like sure how they were mixing bombs with, you know, prayer group. And what it was they were, and I hate to like even say this, but they, were Trumpers, right? And I'm not putting down any Trumpers. I mean, I liked the place. It was a nice live stream. It really was. But it was, before the election there. It was before it. And they were really talking, like, it was so weird. They were supporting violence if things weren't there. I was just very confused. And you know what, Secular? I see you everywhere, and you put me down. I mean, you talk so much smack about me everywhere. It's sickening. I can't believe. And how do you possibly think, Secular, that the shit stirring that you do is any indication that you're a friend? Where did you get confused of how friends act? I mean, you know what? A friend with as many stock accounts as you would make sure I didn't have two thumbs up. You'd make sure I had more. I mean, you sat there in somebody's live stream saying Roscoe got picked up by a bigger dog and shut at a dog park the other day. And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? That didn't even happen. And you were saying it about Daisy when you were in here, Tom's dog. And you go around and you strike me as a person who has some kind of a mental illness. Honestly, you gotta have some kind of a fucking mental illness. You do. No normal fucking grown man goes around. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Secular, that's just one example of what you do. It's childlike behavior that it's not even funny. It's fucking ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Fucking ridiculous. You going around everywhere. You got, oh, her and her co-host Rachel Reed were bullying me and blah, 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 blah. Then why keep coming back? Ask yourself that. How are you going to complain that you get bullied when you're here? Who goes to a bully's house and says, "Can I come in?" Who does that? You know who does that? A fucking whack job who is in his 50s or more and acts like they have no self control or thought process that, you know? Yes. Ugh. You know what? I think you're that Riley 7. You know that? I kind of think you are. I think you're Riley 7. Huh. You are the biggest fucking instigator idiot in this community. Every single one of these stupid ass fucking stock accounts that you have. No, I'm blocking shit. I don't like you. I don't like you. Secular, you're not the type of person that I, you know, I don't give a fuck who you are. I'm saying you're all those people. You say the dumbest, fucking, stupidest shit. Say it at other channels where they think that shit is funny and have a use for it. I have no use for uh, it. You're not even like, you act fucking sick. Damn it. Whenever I see you somewhere in a fucking screen, I know goddamn well you're gonna be talking smack about everybody. And it's like, God. And you say the same shit over and over and over and over. Oh, good. I hope that means you're never gonna come back. Ugh. All right. So do I what? All right. 7 tacos. Night, day, day.